Hello everyone. Let's go back to our app that we made on the previous session. When you go to PowerApps, that you can find after logging in your Office 365 and choosing the PowerApps button, you can scroll down and see the apps you have already made. If I click on it, I will play the app. If I click on the three dots and edit, I will be able to edit the app. In this case, I will just play it to review what we have achieved. So clicking on the name of the app, we have an app built for 3 types of trees, and we will have a button on the first screen to connect to these types of trees. If I click on it, I have the different types of trees from the different countries, and all this information is loaded, as you recall, from an Excel file, so I don't have to input data here manually at PowerApps. And if I click on it, I will have the characteristics of each of the trees, let's say the olive tree and so on. So in order to display this, I must build a good table that has all the information I need so that PowerApps can build the app automatically. So here I see, if I want to describe the types of trees, I will need the tree name, where is the tree from, I need a picture, and then I need information about it, and all this must be in my table. If you see, when you click here, this information is on the table that you just built. Well, if I show you the Excel file where we had this information, let me look for it in OneDrive. I had it here on the web, PowerApps, and it was this Excel file. Sorry, sometimes I have to reload this because it doesn't load at once. No, here it is. So what we see here, it's all our data is on a table, and I have region, tree name, image. It's really important that this is the label of the column images, otherwise it will not display on PowerApps. So you will have image space, these brackets, image, end of brackets, and only like this it will show on PowerApps. And if you see here, you have a direct link to the picture, so it ends on JPG or PNG or GIF, a sort of extension for this type of files, for this type of image files. And here again I have the tree details that will provide further information about each of the tree. And because this already was connected to PowerApps, I have here the information that it was connected. I should never delete this column because this is vital for our data to connect to PowerApps. Well, now we are not going to build an app for the 3 types of the different countries. We are going to build an app for a touristic guide. So before we start on our PowerApps, let's build our table. You can always go back to this, but it's really good that someone in the team is creating the table on the right way before you connect it to the PowerApps. So I open the Excel file, a blank Excel file in my offline version of Excel, and I now am going to create my table for my tourist guide. Just an example. So I can also here the region, like what I had over here, and instead of tree name I'm going to choose main, well, let's not leave spaces, main attractions, main attractions. And then I will just copy this, a space for an image for each attraction, and I will need also information about each attraction. I would call it attractions info. This name is really important because it's how you will connect it to the PowerApps. So you will refer to these labels of the column further on. Well, in region, I'm now in possession of some details of Montemor. So I will write the location Montemor Novo, Portugal. I do 3 columns, 3 rows so that you understand. For instance, I can put here the castle of Montemor. I also will include other information. Let's see, I have here the convent, I will just call it like this so it's easier. And I have here one of the highest places in Montemor. It's the church here is Nossa Senhora da Visitação. To make it easier, I will just call it, but I would have to make it correct, of course, just to not to lose too much time typing it. Well, now I will need the direct links to the pictures. I already sent these pictures to a place where I can share it. Of course, you can always use it from the internet, but if the pages stop working, you will lose your image. So, well, for the castle, I will need this picture, and I have to copy image address so that it has the full direct link to the image. And I will do the same to the convent. So copy image address. And then I will do the same to the church I have here. Sorry. Okay, and about the attractions info, you already made some information from, you already collected some information from each of it. So I will just paste the information. It's a lot of information, but for now I will just leave it like this. You will choose how you want to build your app. Well, here under the castle, I will just, sorry, because it has, I will copy it into the notes. So that it does only show me without any dots. And now I will just paste this information over here. Sorry, I will put it here. It will not underline this way. Okay. So this is the information about the castle. It's too big. I'll put it like this so it's easier to read. And now we will do the same for the convent. And I could do the same for the church, but I will not do it so that you see what happens. So let's say that all the data that you want to display is already here. If not, you just keep continuing. If all the data is here, I will select the table, all the table, you see, and I will format it as a table. Choose any of the samples you have here. I can choose this one. It's asking me if my table has labels. Yes, it has. So my table is done. But now, first, I will have to save. I will save this under my PC and then I will send it to the OneDrive. But before, I will just put it here on downloads and I will call it main attractions. Or I can just call it M attractions. It's easier. So I will save it. But still I have something to do before my table is ready for PowerApps. If you see here on the structure of the table, you have the name of the table. And here I will call this table main attractions. And I click somewhere in the document. Then again, I click on the table, structure of the table, to check if the name of the table is exactly the one that I chose. I click on save. Let's just close it. I will send it to my OneDrive. I want to send it here where I have the PowerApps data. Let's charge the file. I have it here under tables. Okay, this is my main attractions. If I open it here, it's just the same. So I have the information about it, and you can see no information about PowerApps having connected to it yet. So now let's build our app. We are going to create an app, and in this case not from a model but just a canvas app, a blank app. So I'm going to call it V2 and I will choose the phone version of it. It's just a question of size, and I will create. Everything is getting ready for us to start. Let's skip now those tips. The same here. You have more tips over there. Well, let's start building our app. This is our first item in our tourist guide. So I will have to choose some images. In this case, I will choose an image for the background. And if I come here to background image, I will upload an image somewhere from my computer. Let's give it this Europe map. I can choose center, fill, whatever. Stretch. Let's choose stretch. It's not the best one, but in this case the Iberian Peninsula is not cut out from the map. Well, this would be our first screen. Let's rename the screen and call it home. It's important that you rename screens and buttons and everything you add to your app, because otherwise you will lose track when you have too many screens and too many buttons. So this is my home screen already created, but now we will need to navigate to other screens, so we will need some more information. But even so, I will have to add at least a text label, so that I have here information about what is this app about. I would call it touristic guide of 4 regions. You could, of course, name the regions, is just to make it easier over here. You see that the title doesn't show that much, so maybe I will increase the font size, and it's even not good enough, so I may change the color of the text. Maybe I put it in yellow. Whatever you want it. I think it's best here. And then it's still not good enough, so I will have to try to put it bigger. Well, you name it. Here it's not to look pretty, it's just for you to understand it. So let's see if it goes well. Maybe if we change the type, yes, if we change the type of the font, then it goes a little bit better. Well, this is not the best background, but if I really want the title to come really visible, I can upload, I can format a background to my title, and in this case, and adjust it, and in this case it will be easier to read. Of course, you can choose whatever background or styles that you wish for. Well, now that my first app, my first screen of the app is built, I will need to build a second screen. But before I do it, I will save this app, because PowerApps doesn't save the app automatically. So let's File, Save. I would call it Z2 and save. It is asking me to share, but since it's not ready, it has just one screen, I will not share it now. So it's saved, and now I will create a second screen. And this second screen will be a screen for main attractions. So I will add new screen. I want, for instance, a list of the attractions that people can choose on. So I will choose this one. And now if you can see, information is already here. It makes no sense, this information, because it's data that it's already uploaded over there, and it has to connect to a data source to make real sense. So what I will do is I will click on my list, choose connectors. Well, I can add first data connector here, data connectors, and then under connectors I will choose OneDrive, because this is where I have my this is where I have my Excel file. So I will have to connect it. Using my account details. Why doesn't it exist? Of course it exists. Oh, sorry, maybe I chose OneDrive instead of OneDrive for Business, and it's good that I made it wrong so that you understand. Yes, OneDrive for Business, not just OneDrive. Yes, and now it's already connected to mine because I have it open it here. So OneDrive for Business, and I will go through my files and I will look for where I have my Excel file. Here on the web, PowerApps, and I called it M Attractions. And this is the name of the table that we selected. So main attractions, and I will do connect. When I connect, you see data source, I still have here none. So when I click here under my list, I will have the possibility to connect to main attractions. And now the data source is linked to main attractions, and I already have some information. Let's see. The name of the castle is where I want it. I can still change the way I see it. Here I don't want to show a sample image, I want to connect to my image. So I will have to make this item. You see, when you start to type it, it already gives you different types of functions that you have, starting with this. So this item, and then dot what image, and I want to connect to that image. And I will choose, let's say, fill or fit. Control S. And under here, I will want to show the region. And it's already okay. So the image is not showing, so we have to check it out, what's wrong with it. So let's open our main attractions. Again, the connection, it's not easy. Now it is. Let's see if it's correct. And if I click on it on somewhere, if it opens or not, I will try it. Just a second. Okay, it doesn't really, the link is not working, so that's why our images are not appearing. For now we will just use some from the internet, and then we will be sure that our link works prior to doing this. So let's see. Castle, you see that everything needs to be tested. Well, of course, that using images from the internet, you must be sure that you can use those images that are free to do it. For now, it's just an example. Let's copy the image address, replace it under our database. Okay, let's see now. Let's refresh our database and see if the image already shows. Not yet. I will save it. Let's close this for now. And I also will close this and look for it again. In this case I will open it, edit, let's see if our images are displaying now. Okay, screen 2, not yet. So the images from this spot are also not allowed to share. So let me try another one. This takes a few time, yes. Let's see. No, this doesn't work like this, of course. We have to use copy image address, and it has to end. No. So let's look for another one. Okay, this one should work. It's saved. We don't need this anymore. Okay, let's refresh our data source. Okay, so these images must allow us to get it, to use it, must have a direct link. In this case, this one works. We will have to put our images all in one place and be sure to save it. I would have to do the same to the convent. Let's now use for instance the church, this one. Well, let's see if this image works. Copy image address, and this is the last one. Nope, doesn't have a complete link. So maybe this one. This is from our municipality. Too big. This is a video, that's why it would not work. Well, let's check this one. You see here that we have the rights of the image here on the bottom, so of course we should not use this image. This is just for demonstration. Well, once we have refreshed our information, let's hope that this image also can be displayed. Well, not, but you get an idea. If all the images were correct, you would have here all the images just by uploading it over here. If you don't have permission to share it, of course they will be blocked in some way, and then you will not be able to show it here. Let's save it again, save, because PowerApps doesn't save. I'll just open the app again just to be sure that it doesn't need refresh. Okay. Our screen 2 has still no name. Yes, now it was needing refresh, so now you see that the two images are really working. Let's call this screen, rename this screen, main attractions. Screen. And under the title, let's do the same. Instead of title, I want the text in there to say main attractions. Okay, you see that you have a lot of buttons over here, in this case icons to refresh and so on. We will have to deal with that later on. Now you have two screens. Let's just connect our two screens. Here under the tree view, you will have the home view. Let's put here a button, so I will choose plus, and I want a button. I want a button to go to the text over here. It will be called main attractions, is where it will lead. Maybe this blue is not the best for an app with everything on blue. Let's just use this one just to show it, but it's of course not the best one. Well, when we click on main attractions, it is supposed to link us to the next screen. So here, instead of false, this function should show navigate. You see, you can click on it. It opens immediately a bracket, and then target. Which target? Well, I want it to go to the other screen, the screen I called main attractions screen, you see? And then that's it. And then I will go to my second screen here in the tree view. I'll click on the main attraction screen, and I want, instead of this button, I will change, instead of the plus button, I will choose a back button. And when people click on it, I want it to navigate. Navigate where? Just click it. I want it to go to the home button. sorry. And then close it. Okay, let's save it. I'm doing Ctrl S because it's much easier. And now let's go and test our app. When I click here on play, if I come under this title, nothing happens because it has no function attached. If I go to main attractions, I will have the second screen. And if I click on the back button that I just inserted, it will come back to the first screen. Let's stop for now and do another tutorial to continue.